vote. And it's just a matter of working that out. If at some, I'm just keeping an eye on the Zoom. If we're going to move back into the chapel on a regular basis, there are some short-term and long-term things we need to do. So, well, that's in the plan, so it's easier said than done. And then you wait to do that before we play with the cameras and everything else for that room? Do we improve the audio in there beforehand? Wait? Again, I think we have to decide if that's going to become our normal home for Friday nights. There's some things we have to do. So, now for tonight, I wanted to be in here for a number of reasons, including this. We broke off this section I'm going to talk about. Nothing's wrong. Right. You know what? Maybe I should leave with that. Don't worry. I hadn't thought about it, but you're right. That's nothing's dripping. I know the spots. It's showing its age. All right, here's a question. The seats are more comfortable in which room? But that's bare, that's by default. Although there are a couple of pews that aren't so bad. Although the kids on Sunday morning were really bouncing on the one, so I don't know if that one still counts anymore. Oh, if I were smart, I would have written this down. Okay, good. Take it really slow.
Anybody else hear sound from the sanctuary?
Who are you talking to? Other people online?
I thought it was just me.
No.
Okay,
Let's see.
good. I thought
We'll
I was
see.
gonna have to get out and come back in.
No, I can see, but I can't hear. Well, maybe when he comes back in front of the computer, we can talk to him. Or maybe he's got his computer muted. Yeah, he does. He has his computer muted. You're on mute, Rabbi. You're muted. We don't hear you.
I don't think he can hear you.
Hello, Shomim. Well, he can see. He's not looking.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Carlos. How are you?
I'm fine. You can maybe send him.
Shabbat shalom from Terry too.
Yeah. Hi, Terry. How you doing?
Hi, Bill.
He's got to unmute. Yeah, it's coming.
I just sent him a message in the chat.
Ah,
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Amy.
That was smart.
didn't work though. Rabbi, we don't hear you. He's waving. We still don't hear you. That's the ASL service. Hi, Max. Hello. Unmute, Rabbi.
I will try texting Jen.
Just okay. Because I just put it in the chat as well. I take it Jen didn't answer the phone either. Hello, Rabbi Sherman. How are you? Any way you can tell Rabbi Sherman's unmuting himself? He's the bottleneck here, and like we can't get through to them.
I tried Jen and she's not responding.
I tried Shay and she's gone to voicemail. I tried Jen too. She's not responding. And we put it in the chat. So
Okay, well, maybe Rabbi Charles needs to do the service for us.
so frustrating.
I just got a text message from Jen. It says, try live stream. So that means they must not be working on it, or they have no clue what to do. So maybe we should try that. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Yeah, we're unmuted. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
You want to sing?
I do.
Oh, they're muted. You want to sing? I'll leave it unmuted. Okay. Hello?
Hi, Carlos and Terry.
Hello.
Hi, Amy.
Hello. They must be having some issues.
No, they
So-
just say they're muted. That's all.
I don't
If
think
his-
there's a problem. They're just muted.
His computer's muted. I can see it.
Right.
Okay, let me try texting Jen again.
Tell her to tell him to unmute his computer.
Yeah.
Right. But he's not
Okay.
he's not watching the chat.
No, but someone else who's present could tell him.
Shay could do it, but for some reason she's not. I don't know what's going on. There are two different cameras. There was one that was on for one, now this one's on. Hard to monitor when you're not there.
I did text Jen again and I'm waiting to see what she says. In the meantime, I am going to go to live stream because I really wanted to hear the service tonight. So that appears that that might be my only way. So I'll check back, and if I can Zoom again, I would love to do that too.
Okie
Okay.
dokie.
Okay.
Godspeed.
That's I can do the same.
Hello, Bonnie. Shabbat shalom.
Oh. Mhm. Yeah. It's still muted. Right.
Good.
בחירה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. Interesting. Please be seated. For those on Zoom, my guess is you can partially hear us now. Is that correct? Yeah, Bonnie is saying yes. Okay. But we know that it's not the normal sound yet. We're still figuring that part out. But you have part of us.
Okay. Which part do they have?
We continue on page 124. How about in the sanctuary? Does it sound like normal?
To me, it sounds normal.
Okay. 1 out of 2. That's what I'm figuring out. We enter this sanctuary, whether in person or virtually, to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Together, now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. The bottom of page 127. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope together, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. We turn now to pages 138 and 39. There we find Lecha Dodi. We're going to join in the first, the second, and the 5th verses, and then for the 9th verse, we will all rise.
Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Ishmianu elam yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi librat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi librat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat dechu b'necha, ki mekor ha'beracha, merosh mikedem סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. אוי ושלום חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. We continue now on page 264 with our call to worship the Baruch Hu. Yay, day, 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 day. Yay, day, 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 day. Yay.
We continue together in the English on 265. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 266, we read responsively. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the worlds. In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth. In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen.
Page 269. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all together. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There's enough to break the heart. There's good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? Grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We celebrate this power. Page 270, we join in our Song of Freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nor adilot osif ele, nor adilot osif ele, mechutcha ra'u v'anecha, לפני משה ומרים, זיני, זיני, אנו ועמנו. אדוני מלך לעולם ועד, אדוני מלך לעולם ועד.
On page 271, our Hashkivenu prayer as we ask God to spread God's shelter of peace over all of us, but especially over Jerusalem and all of Israel. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who spreads your shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 272, we continue with the covenant of Shabbat, V'shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש.
Page 273, we rise for the Amidah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloi Avotenu v'imotenu, Eloi Avraham, Eloi Yitzchak, Eloi Yaakov, Eloi Sarah, Eloi Rivka, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים כל יום יללוך הצלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Page 278, we read together in the English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. V'tzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amecha Yisrael, v'tfilatam b'ahavat tekabel, u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Be gracious, Adonai our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. O may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is Adonai, whose presence renews Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato le'tzion. Page 281, our prayer for giving thanks, we read responsively in the English. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world, hearts and our hands with thanks.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. All praise to the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed together. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha v'lechana el lehodot. Page 282, we continue with our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tassim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tassim תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. We take a few moments for our own silent prayers.
May I be safe, may I be free, may I find space to just be. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May I find my way back home. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May I find my way back home. May you be safe, may you be free, may you find space to just be. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May I find a way back home. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May you find your way back home. May we be safe, may we be free, may we find space to just be. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May we find our way back home.
And in that spirit now, we turn to our Mishaberach blessings. And as we have done for the last 4 weeks now, in addition to our prayer for healing, we'd like to offer 2 very special prayers. The first prayer was put together by our colleagues in the land of Israel. It's a prayer for the welfare and return of Israel's captured and missing from among our sisters and brothers. And again, for those who couldn't hear at the beginning, we have roped off this section of the sanctuary, the 200 seats that are represented there. Remind us of the more than 200 hostages still missing, still waiting to return home. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rivka, Yaakov, Leah and Rachel, may God bless the captured and the many kidnapped citizens, men, women, and young children, held in painful captivity in Gaza, along with all who are in captivity and distress. May it be your will, Adonai Tzvaot, O God of hosts, to rescue and redeem these souls and return them swiftly to their families in the land of Israel. As it is written, thus said God, a cry is heard in Ramah, wailing, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children. She refuses to be comforted for her children who are gone. Thus said God, restrain your voice from weeping, your eyes from shedding tears, for there is a reward for your labor, declares God. They shall return from the enemy's land. Our second Mishaberach prayer is a prayer for the Israel Defense Forces. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yivarech et Chayalei Tzahal va'anshei kochot habitachon hanilchamim lema'an b'tichon Yisrael u'shlomeha. May the one who brought blessings to our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to our mothers Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the soldiers of Israel's defense forces and all who stand guard in order to protect the land of Israel. Give them strength against our enemies and strengthen their spirits to preserve their highest moral values at this time of trial. Protect them from all troubles and afflictions so that they will return in peace and joy to their families and friends. And may they prosper as human beings and citizens in their land. And now we turn to our Mishaberach prayer for healing. As we gather together this Shabbat, we give thanks for the blessing of our health. And we think of all of those who are healing, all who are in need of healing, all those who are sick, all of those who are injured, all of those who are in need of comfort, recuperation, healing, and strength. This Shabbat, we think of all of those injured in Israel and Gaza. And the prayers of our congregation go out especially on behalf of Sue Barton, Doward Bronson, Terry Lawrence, Neil Levitt, Krish Nidow, Melvin Shear, Virginia Rose Schemper, Lloyd Silverman, Stephen Sobel, Christian Volman, Joel Webb. And I ask if you have additional names that you would like to share. I invite you to say those names out loud now. Marcus, we wish you continued recovery. We're glad to have you back with us this week. May God bless all those we've named out loud and those we name in our hearts with a refuah shlema, mehera, complete and speedy recovery, refuat nefesh, refuat guf, renewal of body, soul, and mind, as we join together in our Mishaberach prayer for healing there in the middle of page 371.
Yisrael.
And now to turn our attention to our simchas. It is the first Friday of the month of November, which means we gather today to celebrate happy moments in the lives of our congregation. And so we begin by asking all of those who are celebrating an anniversary this month, which includes Cantor Garfine and Alexander, all of those who are celebrating a wedding anniversary this month, I ask you to please rise where you are, even if your other half isn't with you. And for those at home, we see you as well. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham v'Sarai Yitzchak v'Rivka Yaakov v'Leah v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob, Leah and Rachel, bless all of these wonderful couples who are celebrating their wedding anniversaries this month. God of all generations, we give thanks for the many blessings that have graced their lives and marriage over the years. May they look back upon the day of their union with thankfulness. May this joy be with them always, their way of life loving and good, as they continue to help each other to bear life's burdens, as well as share in life's joys. In joys and trials alike, O God, you have been with them. So may you continue to be with them, guiding and sustaining them in the years to come. Grant them, O God, a peaceful dwelling, where contentment and love find a resting place. May they maintain a home in which glows the light of faith, one which honors our membership in the house of Israel, our people. O God, grant that they may grow old together in health and in love, and live in gratitude for their marriage always, as together we say, Amen, and Mazel Tov. And now we'd like to invite all of those who are celebrating a birthday in the month of November. All of those celebrating birthdays. Exactly. Good, Tara. Good. For those who are celebrating their birthdays, Amy, I see you there too. Misha Berach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless all of those who are celebrating their birthdays in the month of November. God of days and years, author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our lives. As we come together at Temple this Shabbat, we gather in thankfulness to share in the happiness of our friends and family members who are turning 1 year older this month. Be with them always as the joy of their life. May they be blessed with health and happiness, with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. May they be blessed with many more years, Ad Mea Ve'esrim, and may their lives be filled with an abundance of blessing. Baruch atah Adonai mevarech hashanim. We praise you, O God, who blesses the years. Happy birthday and Mazel Tov. And for all who are celebrating Simchas, we join together in our prayer of thanksgiving, the Shechianu, as we give thanks to God for giving us life, sustaining us, and bringing us to this special time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
A special mazel tov to Bill and Susan Hess, who I believe are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary this month. And at least one of them is watching. We turn to page 586 in our prayer books, and we rise.
The
Please be seated. We continue on page 593. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down in gutters. There's an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. We turn now to page 598. As we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, those whom we've taken into our hearts with our own. As this Shabbat, we mourn the loss this week of Fanet Somer Bloom, and Ricky Fisher, and Muffin Lux Chiz. We are in Shloshim for Selwyn Miller, Harlan Sanford Perkoff, Susan Zellman Taylor. And with love, we recall the art sighting of Michael Lance Alden, James Altman, Eugene Albert Aschaffenberg, Rabbi Murray Blackman, Hannah Levy Bodenheimer, Martha Levy Buckman, Irving Carr, Stanley S. Shagoy, Moses Frischman, Dr. Harry Greenberg, Frida Haddad, Nathan Halpern, Gilbert Hellman, Ella Schlenker-Hess, David Jacobson, Ann Bograd Kiefer, Josiah Alfred Keir, Terry Marvin Krieger, Judge Henry L. Lazarus, Alex M. Lissow, Pauline M. Loeb, Elizabeth Heller McMillian, Sigmund Mendelssohn, Celia Michael, J. Freehan Odenheimer, Lynn Steinberg Rowdy, Benjamin Pulitzer, Isidore Rich, Alan H. Rosenblum, William U. Rosenthal, Samuel Schudmack III, Charles Schwartz Jr., Ida Sarah Sherman, Dion Horowitz Schneider, Rebecca Sinai, Dr. Sol Bear Stern, and we remember Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin of Israel, whose yahrzeit is this week. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be an everlasting blessing. So we think of all of those who have lost their lives in Israel as well. As we join as one congregation, as one people, in reciting the words of Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma tivrach yerutzeh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlomo Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oh, say shalom.
Please be seated. In our Torah reading for this week, we are given the example of Abraham and Sarah, the most gracious hosts in the entire Torah. They opened the doors of their tents. They waited for passers-by to come along so that they could make them feel at home and welcome them into their home. When it comes to Temple Sinai, no one has been a bigger part of welcoming people into our home than our very own Temple Sisterhood. Our sisterhood has been such an important part of our congregation from its very beginnings. We don't take that for granted. We have many of our sisterhood leaders here with us tonight. We want you to know how much you mean to us and how much we appreciate all you do now and have done over the years. And this evening, we're also privileged to welcome some of the leadership of WRJ, the Women of Reformed Judaism, our national sisterhood body. And at this moment, I'd like to invite Rabbi Liz Hirsch, the executive director of WRJ, to come and say hello. Thank you, Rabbi.
Good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It is so wonderful to be here in your beautiful, stunning sanctuary. I've just been looking all around and enjoying it all evening. Thank you to Rabbi Sherman and Kendra Garfine for welcoming me and the rest of our leaders here. Thank you to the incredible Jen Daly, who you know and love, but we know and love too because she serves on our executive committee for helping to organize our visit here and everything. Great also to welcome our wonderful friend and supporter, Joanne Freed, visiting us from Gates of Prayer. And of course, I'm here with Sarah Charney, our North American president, and Sherry Schulner, another member of our staff. And in part, we are here because our full staff was in for a few days this week, preparing for our North American conference, our Freed Women's Conference, which will be held right here in New Orleans, May 30th to June 2nd. And since it's held here, if you're connected with WRJ, if you haven't connected with WRJ, we want you to be here because it's right around the corner. So we hope that you'll join us, and we're going to make that very accessible and easy for folks who are local. So we hope to see you when we're back here. So WRJ, for those who may not be familiar, is the Women's Empowerment Affiliate of the Union for Reformed Judaism. Temple Sinai, of course, is a member of the Union for Reformed Judaism, which is the largest and most diverse movement in North American Jewish life. WRJ ourselves, we're 110 years old this year. We were founded in 1913, although I understand that the Temple Sinai Sisterhood actually predates that founding date of our North American body, which is very impressive. And we represent tens of thousands of women throughout North America and indeed throughout the world at hundreds of different local sisterhoods and women's groups like the group here at Temple Sinai. We also welcome folks to join us as individual members if they resonate with our values. Those values are expressed through our three pillars. Those pillars are sisterhood, spirituality, and social justice. And our values guide us to action in times of joy and excitement, and also in the more difficult times. I'm so moved by this display here of the seats that are set aside for the captives and the hostages. Our values sprung us into action, of course, at the terrible news of the war and devastation and attacks in Israel just a few weeks ago, and continuing to today. So what have we done? Expressing our spirituality pillar, we have written and shared out prayers for captive women and children, noting, as you have here tonight, the large number of women and children who are being held captive. And those prayers have been shared not just throughout North America, but throughout the world and translated into many languages as our prayer unites us in faith and hope. We express our social justice pillar through both advocacy and our philanthropy work. With our advocacy, we've joined with the national North American Reform Movement to issue statements, and we always bring a gender lens to our advocacy, so we've issued both statements and resources to make sure that we're focusing on the sad rise in gender-based violence that so often occurs, violence against women in times of war. In terms of our philanthropy work, we have long been at WRJ the philanthropic engine of the reform movement. We have been instrumental in founding, setting up, and establishing many different branches of our movement. We've long provided scholarships and support to students of the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. We helped to establish NIFTY, the youth movement. I understand we'll have some NIFTY students and teens in town this weekend. And we also support the empowerment of women worldwide who are connected to our movement globally. We also have really strong and deep relationships in Israel, particularly with the Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism. So knowing that we wanted to reach out to our partners to be connected to them, we immediately called them in the first few days of the war, and we asked them what they needed. And we were able to immediately make an emergency allocation from WRJ, from all those who support through our Yes Fund, to send out those funds and resources to the Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism to support humanitarian aid work, women's empowerment circles, and the additional needs for progressive clergy during this really sad time when people are reaching out for their life cycle needs. And we know that we're going to continue to support Israel in all of those many and important ways. Our third pillar is sisterhood, and I've been thinking a lot in the first few months as I started in this role over this summer about what sisterhood means today. It's a question that if you're active here in the sisterhood in Temple Sinai, I'd love to hear at some point this evening as we have a chance to talk what sisterhood means to you today. To me, it means both the very local groups and relationships here at Temple Sinai, the connections and bonds and the women's groups that folks connect with and feel connected into. But at this moment, at this time, sisterhood is also a very global concept. It's something that connects us through bonds of deep support and shared values with women throughout the world. Thinking about the Torah portion, Rabbi Sherman mentioned Abraham and Sarah, that first very hospitable couple. Before they were able to be hospitable, Abraham in particular, and also Sarah, were actually tested by God, some say up to 10 times. The most familiar of that test is the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. We are familiar with that story from our High Holy Days. But after the test, after Abraham and Sarah were successful and able to overcome those difficult challenges, God made a promise to Abraham and Sarah. God made a promise that Abraham and Sarah, the first Jewish couple who stood alone in those moments of trial and test, would become a great nation. They would become the beginning of many thousands of generations, that their children would be as numerous as the stars in the sky or the sands on the shores of the sea. Abraham and Sarah were the first generation, so when they were tested and came to a moment of trial and struggle, they were tested alone. But we are members of the 1,000th generation of Abraham and Sarah. So that means when we are tested, when we are in moments of trial and struggle and challenge, we suffer along with the rest of the Jewish people. We feel the emptiness and the pain of those empty seats, the empty beds, the women and men and children who are lost and who are captive, who are suffering, who are fighting in Israel. We suffer, but we don't suffer alone because we are part of that 1,000th generation of Abraham and Sarah. And that also means that when we feel moments of joy, like moments that we celebrated this evening in community, we also celebrate those together because we feel joy when others feel joy. That's what sisterhood means today, and that's what it means to be part of the Jewish people, the Jewish world, the Jewish community, Reformed Jewish movement worldwide today, connected through those unbreakable bonds, through times of challenge and through times of joy. Thank you so much for having me this evening. If you didn't have a chance to say hello, I hope you'll come up and say hello after the service. Thanks again, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
And now to further welcome and a few words of announcements, I'd like to invite Eugene Church, representing our temple leadership.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
I'd like to extend a welcome to WRJ Executive Director Rabbi Hirsch and WRJ President Sarah Charney. We are thrilled to have you here this evening and are excited to get to know you throughout the weekend, so welcome. We would like to thank this Shabbat Jen and Ken Daly and Ed and Randy Lefko for sponsoring tonight's Shabbat Shalom Nosh in memory of Lynn Steinberg-Prouty and in honor of our guests from WRJ. We'd also like to thank Ellen and Max Cohen for sponsoring tonight's Beam of Flowers in memory of Elizabeth Heller McMillian. Coming up at Temple Sinai tomorrow morning, we will have Torah study beginning at 9:15 in the library. With a new month comes a new Sinai Tzedek project. And this month, we will be collecting menstrual and feminine hygiene products for the Period Project, a nonprofit which works to provide equal, affordable access to menstrual hygiene products for all. Donations can be dropped off in the collection bin near the front office during regular business hours and before services. I'd also like to let you know that this Sunday, November 5th at 1 p.m., Hebrew Rest Cemetery and the Jewish War Veterans Ben Katz Post 580 are asking for volunteers to help them honor the memories of veterans interned at our cemetery by placing flags upon their graves. If you're interested in volunteering or to provide information on a loved one that you'd like to honor, please reach out to Cliff Kern or email hrcanola@gmail.com. Finally, this Thursday, November 9th, our own Executive Director, Jen Daly, will be leading a workshop on how to more effectively use your mobile phone and the basics of social media, beginning at 2 o'clock here at Temple Sinai. We hope you'll join us. Thank you so much.
Again, it's wonderful to all be together this Shabbat. Rabbi Hirsch, thank you for joining us, being here, and for your words. We're so glad that Sarah and Sherry, that you can be here with us as well this Shabbat. And again, we want to say a todah rabbah to Jen Daly for not only all that she does on behalf of Temple Sinai, but for her work, which is a labor of love on behalf of WRJ. As you heard, the nifty Southern Fall Conclave is happening right now here in New Orleans. Tonight, the kids are at Toro Synagogue. Tomorrow morning, we will have 100 high schoolers here in the sanctuary with us. They're going to spend all day with us here at Temple. They're here for the weekend. Again, we're glad that we can help host this conclave, the first home-housed conclave that we've had for a few years. So we're glad to see that. Next Shabbat, Cantor Coleman will be joining us for services. Services will begin at 6 p.m. and afterwards will be our monthly Shabbat dinner. Please make your reservations so that we can be properly prepared. That is next Friday evening. Again, services at 6 with dinner to follow. We are going to conclude our service this evening as we have done for the last few weeks. If you'll please turn to page 377 in your prayer books. We will begin with our prayer for Israel, and then we will conclude with Hatikva, which can be found on page 678, and our prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom. So page 377, please rise as we join together in the prayer for the state of Israel. Sha'alu Shlom Yerushalayim Yishlayu Ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Gulatenu, Hagen Aleha be'evrat Chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha v'amitecha l'rosheha, Sareha v'yoatzeha, V'taknei be'etza tova milfanecha, V'natata shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam liyoshveha, V'nomar, Amen. Together, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Page 678.
Oh, say